Hi, friends. Today I want to talk about something that's been quietly eroding the joy of early childhood education: the pressure to get kids reading early. There's this persistent belief that earlier is better, that if a child isn't reading by 5, they're behind. But here's the truth: reading is not a race, and pushing children into it before they're developmentally ready can actually do more harm than good. Reading is a complex neurological process. It involves visual tracking, auditory processing, working memory, language comprehension, and emotional regulation. And all those systems develop at different rates in different children. When we rush reading, we risk creating frustration, shame, and a sense of failure in kids who are simply not yet ready. They start saying things like, I hate reading, or I'm not good at this, not because they lack potential, but because they've been pushed into a skill before their brains were ready to support it. A Harvard study found that children who start school as the youngest in their grade are significantly more likely to be diagnosed with ADHD. And in the report, Reading in Kindergarten: Little to Gain and Much to Lose, education professor Nancy Carlson Page and her colleagues warned that early reading instruction misaligned with developmental needs can lead to anxiety, confusion, and feelings of inadequacy. Another study on escalating academic demands in kindergarten found that a narrow focus on isolated reading and numeracy skills is detrimental even to the children who succeed, and especially harmful to those labeled as failures. The result: kids internalize that I'm not good enough mindset that can follow them for years. And here's the kicker: there's virtually no evidence that reading early leads to long term academic success. By the time children are in third grade, you can't even tell who was reading early and who read later. What does matter? Confidence, curiosity, a love of learning. So, what's the alternative? We build a rich literacy environment. We read aloud every day. We sing, we rhyme, we talk, we listen. We let kids fall in love with books before we ask them to read them. We trust that when the foundation is strong, the skill will follow. Children who are surrounded by language, who engage in meaningful conversations, who play and move and explore, they become readers, and they do it with confidence, not fear. So let's take the pressure off. Let's protect the joy. Let's advocate for developmentally appropriate practice and remember that childhood is not a race to the next milestone. Reading will come, and when it does, let it come with joy. Thanks for being here, and thank you for being a champion for childhood.